Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about subtractive sculpture today. You can kind of see that this is made of a floral foam, which looks like this. And normally you stick fake flowers in there and then you make it look like it's real. But what we are doing today is we're going to use it for carving. And when we talked about the sculpture vocabulary that you were supposed to do, those were some of the vocabulary words, along with negative space, which is essentially when you have holes through or spaces that you can look in when you have a piece of artwork that can be seen from a 360-degree view or sculpture in the round. So first thing you need to do is do some sketches. And in general, you're supposed to do sketches of every project that you're supposed to do. However, some people don't do it. Oh no, what are you gonna do? So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna use this piece to kind of make 3 thumbnail areas. Because hey, guess what? Materials cost money. So you need to do some pre-work so that you know how big to make it. So essentially, these are about the size of your palm. So if you just sort of sketch in 3 boxes that are close to 1/3 of your paper, kind of divide it down the middle, divide it. That's about how big these are. So technically I could make 6 sketches here, but I'm going to start by rounding off edges. Maybe I want to make, you have to do at least 1 area of negative space. So maybe that can be, it's a figure 8. Maybe that can be an opportunity for you to figure out like what sort of form you're doing. Like maybe you wanted to kind of have a like dinosaur head look. It's not necessarily supposed to look like anything specific. Maybe you just start with the area where you're going to have a hole through it, and then you decide kind of what you're going to do. I like organic kind of forms where they're more curved, etc. I find that more appealing, but maybe you're more of a person who likes a sharp edge. Now you can do that, but it's a challenge. So once you get your idea done, and I kind of like this one. So when you get your block of this floral foam, you're going to kind of look at your sketch, and I kind of have this little like hole through the middle, and you can just carve away using a pencil. You can use toothpicks. Sometimes if you have fingernails, you can use your fingernails. I do not have sharp fingernails, so I like to use, oh, I'm so sorry. I like to use a pencil to carve through. I do have some nail files. Some people hate the sound of them, but I am so sorry. If you can find anything else that works for sanding this, that would be fine. You can kind of see that I've gotten through it. It does not take a whole lot to do this, and it's kind of satisfying to do. So I have it through, and I'm going to kind of curve out a little to curve it. You can also rub I'm going to then round off my edges, which again, you can just do, let's see. So I said here, and then I want it to come in a little, and then come out. more of a thing there, but just kind of, you carve a little at a time. And if you can break away areas, you can do that. It's also kind of satisfyingly squishy. But don't break it for just breaking its sake, because again, materials cost money. I'm going to turn it to this side so I can kind of carve away. And you sort of slowly hone the shape that you're doing. And once you have honed your shape how you want it, you can carve in texture. So like this sort of crosshatch look that I have on here, just to give it a little more interest, or these sort of lines. So you can add areas of a more textured surface. And so you need to have at least one area of texture, and then at least one area of negative space, which is that opening, or somewhere where you can see light through. And so we don't want it to just be like blocky. You need to have areas that are more honed, so you can take your finger and kind of try to add a flow to it. You can use the nail file, you can use your fingers. There's something very cathartic about it, I think, where you're just sort of rubbing. Sort of like building a sandcastle almost. So you're kind of seeing now more, instead of it just being a big solid block, you're getting more of a flow and a feel of form. And then once you've got your form and you do sort of a texture on it, then you're gonna take your glue that's at the table, and we're gonna literally give it a little massage with glue, because what that does is it actually solidifies the surface. Someone, I have a feeling, decided to see what this was made of and like chipped that off, because they're not nice. Ask me what it's made of. Anyway, well, they're not necessarily not nice, but they don't think before they do things, and that is problematic. Think before you do stuff. That's the whole reason why we're doing these areas of sketching. So I will do a part 2 to show you what to do after you have your form and texture.